andando virtuale.
Abbiamo il microfono? No.
Io non lo so. Un avviso di servizio, io sto andando a recuperare il microfono. Puoi passare, vai tranquillo.
Oui, bon.
Allora, Ines è tocca il microfono, ha detto che devi suonare la viola, ma non è qua. Siamo fuori dal cartello,
Eccola.
Sta arrivando.
Ah, you don't want to...
Yeah,
see?
this part, this one.
Okay.
Ragazzi, il microfono è acceso. Can you do a test?
Hello, hello. This is really loud.
Ah, questo è quello che è dentro porta.
Can you lower this, please? Directo, claro.
Scusate, dite a me? Camera 3. Ok. It's too high, the volume.
Yeah, it's very high. Hi.
You're still...
Better? It's better or a little bit more?
A little,
less?
yeah, less.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, now, okay, perfect.
The microphone?
Yeah.
narrow your face.
Near the face, okay, perfect. Hello, everyone. We are here at the Chislao Training Center, which is FC Como Women's Training Center near Lake Como. And today I will be hosting this amazing match against Olympique Marseille. Just for a little bit of context and setting expectations, this is the absolute first time I've ever done this. I'm actually the co-founder and co-CEO of Mercury 13, which is a firm that has bought the majority stake in Como last year in March. And today we decided to do something different with our partners at DAZN. We wanted to bring a different kind of broadcast. We really think that if you guys know the stories about the players that are about to come on this pitch and really understand their backgrounds, you know, their interests off and on the pitch, where they came from, where they want to go, their biggest dreams, you are going to fall in love with this club the same way that we have. And so today is an insane, incredible honor for me to be here. Please don't expect any technical commentator because that's not really what I'm going to be doing. However, I will be having some guests that are going to join me throughout the match that are going to help me, you know, give some more color on what's happening on the pitch. We're going to have some players from Como, some players from Olympique Marseille. We have a journalist that's going to join us as well, our CEO. Okay, well, first technical problem. I need to drop this. But yeah, so we're going to have the CEO of Como. We're going to have the general manager of Olympique Marseille that's also going to join us. And the idea, again, is to really make this a unique experience where you get to kind of feel the backstage of what it is to play professional football as a woman. And, you know, what it takes to do that. Because right now, behind this camera, there's so many people that have made this happen. You know, not only from the broadcasting piece and obviously our partners at DAZN, but we have our technical staff. We have, obviously, the players. We have the families of players that have also joined us today. We have all of the squad of Olympique Marseille. We have photographers and a very special guest. So today it's an important day for Como as we unveil the new title sponsor of the club. And the CEO and founder of this company is here with us today. And she's going to be able to give us a little bit more of the backstory to why she decided to do this and how important is this day to her. So please, with this, Zoe, come and join me. How are you?
Thank you. I'm great.
Great.
Wow.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. It's brilliant to be here.
Okay, so earlier today you saw the Como women jersey with the We Are 8 logo on it. Tell us how you felt and, you know, what are you expecting for the next 2.5 seasons that we have together?
The truth is, I actually started crying because seeing the logo on these incredible women. I mean, I don't look at them as just women's football players. I see them as beacons of transformation. And that the power of our technology to elevate them, help them build their audiences, and together build a massive global audience and transform the sport as we know it. That was exciting, because the infinite power of the 8 on these women, it was really not our brand on the women, it was them owning 8 as themselves. So it was a beautiful, inspiring, gorgeous moment. So thank you.
No, it's very, very special to have you here. And I think that these players are starting to really understand that this partnership is very different. This is just not a sponsorship, right? We are thinking about the future. We're thinking about how we can make these women use the platform that they really deserve. You know, today during the match, as we start actually start introducing these characters, we're gonna, and the audience as well is gonna have quite a lot of, we come in a little bit? Okay. To the center, okay. Guys, please, you gotta bear with us. This is the first time we've ever done it.
You wouldn't believe that, would you? She's fabulous at this.
But yeah.
The stories of the women, you know, and they really are transformation agents in every way. I think the way women's football is going to really be seen for its entertainment and for its ability to be transformative. And that's exciting. I mean, the vibe here, you can feel it. It feels different. And
amazing.
Oh my God, look at this.
The We Are 8 logo. Hey, girls. Amazing. Wow.
It's beautiful.
This
So
is
thank you.
no, please. Thank you so much for joining us, and now we're gonna have you join the players and do the unveiling of their jersey. So congratulations again. Thank you so much for your support.
And thank you for your amazing vision.
Thank you.
It's incredible.
Okay, you can go.
Okay.
Yeah,
What am I doing?
go with the captain. This is a very, very special day over here. We have Zoe, the CEO and founder of We Are 8, which is a social media platform, is going to now receive the official jersey with the logo in it. Today is the unveiling. Giulia Rizzon, our captain, is giving her and handing her this jersey. So yeah, it's a very special day here today at Cislago. Okay. The match is about to start. I'm going to go upstairs and be your commentator and have a few really great guests, so please stay with us. Again, bear in mind that this is the first time I've ever done it, so fasten your seatbelt and, yeah, be safe.
Good job. Yeah, good start. Yeah. It's something different, you know. I know. Forza, raga. So me too, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay, we're here, and the match has started. Very, very important is that you guys know that I am not going to be doing a play-by-play commentating here today. I'm actually going to give you insight on the players that are on the field at the moment, and then very, very soon I'll be joined by Sko, who is one of the Como women player that's obviously going to be able to give us quite a lot more of background on what it means to play for this team. So we'll start with the lineup. Number 2 is Agnete Markusen. She's a defender from Denmark. She joined Como after a pretty long career in the Danish league, where she actually won the league title. Markusen also made her debut in the UEFA Women's Champions League, which is definitely something that we are looking forward to doing at some point here at Como. Second is Mina Bergensen, number 6, defender for Norway, also plays for the youth national team over there. She grew up in a town in Norway that is about an hour away from the capital, and it happened to be a town that actually had many women players, so many girls got together and played, and this is really how she was able to get into football. She had idols like Ada, obviously, and women that had paved the way before her, and by the age of 17 she went for tryouts at Roma, where she really impressed quite a lot of people and started her professional career in Italy. Third player is Elisa del Estal. Eli del Estal, number 9, forward from Spain. Eli is one of those stories that you hear actually quite often in women's football. She has 2 degrees and 2 masters, as well as being a PhD candidate for gender equality in football at the University of Barcelona. She has scored quite a few goals for us this season, and she is described by her fellow players and coaching staff as a very clever player. So we're excited to see what she can get done tonight, or today actually, this afternoon. Next up, Sarina Bolden, number 10, forward. American Philippine, actually plays for the Philippines national team. She's come to Como at the beginning of the season. And earlier today when I was talking to her, she was telling me that at the age of 5, her parents actually realized that she was pretty talented at football. And so they started really, making her train and getting her ready. And then, by the age of 21, she felt like she was not really doing this for herself. And so she decided to take a break and put into use her bachelor degree, and got a job in what she calls the real world as a dispatch manager in the Bay Area. After a few months doing that, she, I think, realized that pro football was a pathway for her, and also realized, okay, we almost scored a goal. Let me go back to what I know how to do. So yeah, that is Serena. She, as I said earlier, she plays for the Philippine national team, and she's also shared with me that it's really important for her, for young American Filipino girls, to see that it's possible to have and pursue a career in professional soccer. And yeah, post-career, she's also shared that she'd love to own her own business at some point. And we talked about the idea of potentially opening a women's sports bar, where the only thing that you do is watch women's sports, which is something that has started happening in the US and in places like London as well. So we'll see. Big plans for Serena. Next up, number 11, Dominika Konch. She is a midfielder from Slovenia. Also plays for the Slovenian national team. She's had actually played all over the world. Started in the US, the University of Tennessee. She then went to Spain, played for Espanyol in Malaga. Then came here to Italy and played for AC Milan. Back to Spain, where she played for Levante Badalona, formerly Levante Las Planas. And in this particular case, we had a friend in common. Her agent, Carlota Planas, is a good friend. And we've had the chance to work together in several occasions. Carlota, if you're watching this game, hello. But yeah, going back to Dominika, she's played 73 caps for her national team. We almost... Okay, good. Nothing happened. So 73 caps for her national team, and she is the host of a podcast called The Rising Giants, where she interviews women's football players and discusses, their journey of resilience and overcoming challenges, injuries. I mean, it is a really very entertaining podcast, and if you all are here, you should go and subscribe to it. Next up, Julia Carlenas, number 16, midfielder for Sweden, also plays for the Swedish national team. She's known around here for being one of the hardest working players on the field. She actually started playing many different sports and eventually had to choose one. And then she was encouraged by her teacher, Mr. Perdanch. I probably just butchered that. I'm very sorry, teacher Perdanch, if you're hearing this, but she's definitely, had very fond memories and also told me that she's still in contact with him. But he was the one that encouraged her to pursue football and to do it at a professional level. She also shared with me her mantra, which is to be the very best on and off the field. Which is something I think we all aspire to, but she's definitely one of those that embodies it. She also loves to sing and to dance. I hear that she does that in the dressing room quite a lot, and everyone has been part of her audience, which is great. Next up, Tuva Sagen, number 17, defender from Norway, plays for the youth national team. And she's actually already has accumulated over 24 caps and scoring 2 goals in official matches. Next up, we have Miriam Picci, or Picchi, number 21, midfielder from Italy. She arrived to Como alongside sporting director Miro. She is well known as a very positive member of the locker room and was called up to the under-17 national team not so far along. She supports Lazio, but also has played for Roma. Next up, Astrid Gilardi on goal, number 22, also from Italy. Really young player, 21 years old, which for goalkeepers is pretty uncommon. She's actually was our second goalkeeper. Katia Schöffeler, she was meant to be on the roster, but she got injured in preseason, and so Astrid stepped up and has done a fantastic job so far. She's already saved 2 penalties and has done some of those heroic saves that you don't see very often. She actually started in football as a forward and then eventually moved into the goal just because she had to fill in for injured goalkeepers. So it seems like her destiny was already in her cards as a goalkeeper, and I think now she's there to stay. She came from Inter Milan, and her dream is to one day play in the World Cup representing Italy. She also enjoys F1 and volleyball outside of football. And when asked what was her biggest dream, she said that she wanted to arrive at the end of her life without any regrets on and off the pitch, which is something that is very, very inspiring. Next up, Giulia Rizzon, the captain of the team, number 24, a defender from Italy. She's been with the team since Como was in the Serie C. So if you actually have never seen Como or heard of Como before, this is an independent women's football club playing in Serie A. But not very long ago, they were in the 3rd division of Italian football. And they were able to get 2 promotions, and Giulia, as the captain, really led the way. She is a very important part of the team, as you can imagine, and actually played a huge role in the rebranding of Como after Mercury 13 took on ownership. So in March, as I mentioned earlier, we bought the majority of the club from President Stefano Verga, and since then we've been undergoing quite a big transformation to make sure that we could professionalize the club and really demonstrate that independent women's football team can also be successful and rise, and can also be a professional environment for a footballer. And yes, Giulia was a very big part of understanding what were the values of this team, what this team represented, and how that impacted on the visual side of things. Next up, Zara Kramzar, number 33, forward, also from Slovenia. She was obsessed with football at a very, very young age, and she was telling me that her mom thought it was really a phase, that eventually she was gonna stop. And then by the time she was in 1st grade, she still really wanted to play, and so her mom found her a club. As many players, unfortunately, there were none for women, and so she started playing with the boys and quickly became known in the country for being the girl that plays with the boys and actually being very, very good. She had a coach Goran Churt, which I'm probably also butchering another time, but he's the coach that really encouraged her to pursue a pro career. And then by the end of 16, which was the age where she was actually allowed to go play internationally, she really pushed her parents to have her come and try out for Roma, which she did. Her birthday is on the January the 10th, and she was like, on the exact same day, I went to my parents and I told them that now it's time. And her mom again thought that this was some kind of phase, but it wasn't. And here's Zara Kramzar, who's had a phenomenal half season for us as well. So these are the 11 players that are currently on the pitch, and we will be talking about them a little bit more in depth once Sko joins me. Now on the bench we have Nadine Nischler, number 7 midfielder, also from Italy. This is a very special story, what one would call like a Cinderella football type of story. Not even 5 months ago, this woman was virtually unknown. She was playing in the 3rd division of Italian professional football, Serie C. And as this, this division is not fully professionalized, had to work a full-time job. She was an accountant and had 40-hour weeks as an accountant, and then training after dinner, and then playing on the weekends. And our sporting director was looking at her. She actually helped her team get a promotion into the 2nd division. And then we brought her to Como, and she made her debut as a professional player in September of 2024. We played against AC Milan at home, And within 19 minutes of starting the game, Nadine scored her first goal as a professional player. That same match, she was called the MVP, and then went on to score most matches. She's actually already scored 7 goals and is the second most, the second player that scored the most goals in the Serie A. Followed by a Juventus player. So this is pretty amazing. Nadine is one of those stories where, you know, you really think anything is possible. So we're very happy to have her here, and hope that we all follow her as she embarks into the next half of the season. Next up, Valentina Soghiu, number 12. She actually arrived yesterday to the club, new goalkeeper from Italy. She was born on January 1st, 2003. She is currently on loan from Roma, and we are very excited to see where it goes. She'll be with us until June 2025. Welcome to the team, Valentina. Next up, we have Ambra Liva, number 13, midfielder, also from Italy. Born in 2005. Makes me feel really old now as I read the date of birth of all these players. We have a pretty young team, which is amazing. But yeah, she began her professional football career in 13 and has been playing in Italy ever since. And now we are very happy to have her here at Como. Next up, Celeste Marchiori, number 18, defender. She, like many other players, also started in the boys league and joined the Como women as part of our Primavera team, which is basically our second team here, and then integrating into the first team. This is something that we are especially safe from Astrid. Okay, I'm gonna stick to my thing. I'm gonna speak up for the players. But yeah, so she's one of those examples that we hope to see many from. You know, developing talent is very important for any football club, and we think that we have a good chance here of doing something special. Okay. Here she is. There you go. Next up, we have Lucia Vaitukaite. Did I say that right?
Vaitukaite. Yeah, it's really hard, this name, yeah.
Okay, this is Ko that's here next to me. She's carefully making sure that I'm saying the right things. Dominika Skorbankova is a player of Como. She's actually been with us since last season. And very briefly, I'm going to start asking her some questions, and I'm sure that she's going to give a lot more color on what's happening on the game. Ooh! Okay, we almost scored a goal. Didn't happen. So, Lucia, number 20, midfielder for Lithuania, also plays for the national team. She is actually also currently pursuing a university degree in computer science, and has participated in the Mathematics Olympiad. She codes on her free time and is, you know, one of those players that are shining as well as off the field. Okay, I'm almost at the end. We have a few more players that I want to introduce. Ginevra D'Agostino, number 23, forward from Italy, has played for the youth national team, born in 2008 and started playing at the age of 6, also with the male team. In the last season, she made her debut with our second team, the Primavera team, and was selected for the U16 national team and has earned 5 caps there as well. and she's currently part of the U17 national team squad. So here's another one of those stories that, you know, we are very excited to see where it goes. 3 more players, and then we're going to hear from our friend Sko here. Ramona Petzelberger, number 27, a midfielder for Germany, also called up by the national team. Her mother and grandmother actually taught athletics, which was a very interesting fact. At the age of 10, she decided to pursue football more seriously, as she was playing many other sports. She's from the city of Essen in Germany. And actually, this is a city that has produced many World Cup players. And so she had the chance of really being able to see and model after these. She's played for Leverkusen, for Aston Villa, and more recently at Tottenham. And at the moment, she's pursuing a sporting directorship diploma. She's very interested in understanding, you know, how football clubs work and how can she bring her experience as a professional female player into ownership. 2 more players, and then we're with Sko. So Alex Kerr from the US, also Scottish, so American-Scottish, number 28, forward. She's come at the beginning of the season. Both her parents were professional footballers. Isn't that really cool? Her father played for the Premier League and as well for the MLS. And her mother played at the collegiate level. At the time, actually, when her mom was playing, there were not a professional league in the US. And she, you know, really dreams of being able to represent Scotland, and has been doing quite a few great things for us as a team. Okay, last but not least, we have Giulia Ruma, who is from our youth team, actually, from the Como Women youth team. She is a goalkeeper, number 30, also from Italy. She actually made her debut in the 21-22 season in Serie A at the age of 16 against Pomigliano. And today will be on the bench for the friendly against Olympique Marseille. Okay, guys, I've gone through all the players, and now I'm gonna invite Domenica Skorvankova. This is a very unusual thing to have a player from a roster actually speaking about the match, and it's part of this experimentation that we're doing about bringing in a new type of broadcasting, a new kind of storytelling to audiences in women's sports. So, Sko, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you for saying yes.
Yes.
I think that this is quite an intimidating thing to do, I will say, especially when, you know, you don't have any training in it. However, in your particular case, as a player, and as a very important player of the squad, I think you have a unique perspective to bring. So, okay, Bolden.
Yeah, finally. Yes.
This is how Argentinians do it. Goal! I've always wanted to do this. I've actually always wanted to do this. Setting up Bolden! Number 10 has scored a goal. Let's go, Como! Okay, I'm going to stop doing that.
Yeah. I think also in Italian they are doing that.
Yeah?
So,
okay, good. Yeah,
yes.
It's not only an Argentinian thing.
Yeah.
But us Argentinians, we like to say everything we do is the best.
Yeah.
Okay, Sko, back to you. So, tell us about how you started football. How you started as a player, where you're from, and how you made your way to Como Woman.
So, well, I'm from Slovakia, and when I was 7 years old, I started to play football just in Slovakia. But actually, when I was around 12 or 13, I just realized already, okay, one day I want to be a professional player. So I started to living my dream, actually. So I'll go through the Austria, where I played 3 years. Then I played 5 years in Germany, in 2 clubs, in SC Sand and FC Bayern Munich. And then I went to France for 3 years. And after this challenge in France, because, you know, I was never thinking that I will play in French, and then I was also never thinking that I will go to Italy. But after 3 years in France, I got this opportunity to go to Italy. And I was like, okay, let's go to see another league. Let's go to know the new culture and the new people. So I decided to go to Como, and I signed for 1 year.
Okay. And I remember when we bought the club in March. Obviously, you were playing. You were having a great season, and you have done a lot of things. Now, at the end of the season, in the very, very last match, you got injured, which was, we were there. We were at the match with Mario, my co-founder, my co-CEO, and it was very, very sad to watch. Walk us through it. Tell us what you felt and how it's been since, because you've been back. You've been back.
Yeah, exactly. So literally it was like last 20 minutes of the game. I got injured, and this injury was a big injury. It was like partial of ACL. So it's a really big injury in football, I mean, and that was really not easy for me. But I decided to do it like without surgery. I decided to do it like conservative. So it took me like 5 months to come back. What was really, really hard time for me, but I knew it. I had my family, I have my friends, and then when I decided to stay in Como, I knew it. I have also a club who wants to supporting me, so I was just happy about this project when you came in the game with Mario, and I wanted to be part of this new project. So now I am happy to be here again.
Thank you so much. We are happy. I remember having a conversation with you at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And you were you're very direct. You said, okay, I hear that you're going to do all these things. Oh, I almost got to scream goal again. Yeah. But yeah, sorry, going back to a more serious topic. But yeah, I remember you looking at me straight in the eye, and you said, you know, this sounds great. Like, you're saying you're going to do a lot of things, but I need to see it. You know, I need to really understand and believe that you're gonna be making this club better. And yeah, I'm happy that it worked out, and I'm happy that you've been able to recover. You've also said something to me that really stuck. You said every injury changes you as a person. And why don't you share a little bit about this? Because, you know, obviously for people that don't play professional sports, you know, injuries don't affect their lives in the way that it would affect a professional athlete. But what did you mean by that? And how has this last injury changed you?
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you are injured, like for football players, it's the really hard time, because everyone from us wants to just play and enjoy this game every day and be with the people and with your teammates. So of course for 5 months I was just out and doing stuff by myself, like in recovery and rehabilitation. But you know, like every injury you are stronger, not just physically, you are also stronger mentally. You know, it's changing your view, how you are seeing the football. I think how you are seeing like every single training with the teammates and with the team. So now when I am again back with the team, I am enjoying even more, like every time with them, and not just with the teammates, but also like with the staff and everyone behind the scenes. So it's nice to be back, and you know, I'm getting also older, so I never know when is my last training, my last game. So I'm enjoying and everything even more. So
that's really That's really beautiful. Yeah, just being able to appreciate every day.
Exactly.
Very important. Okay, so before we invite Lucia Lobato, actually, Olympique Marseille player, born in New York, tell us a little bit what's happening today. How is the team feeling? Obviously, for those that don't know, we are in the mid-season of the Serie A. The team is currently in number 5 on the table,
Yes.
which actually matters a lot more than what you think, especially, again, for those who don't know, the Serie A splits very soon into the top 5 and the bottom 5. And the top 5 play for the Scudetto and qualification to the Champions League, whilst the bottom 5 fight for relegation. And Como has never been in the top 5 yet in its history, and at the moment we are in number 5 position, fighting with Milan for that spot. Tell us a little bit, how this half season has been, and then today, this is the first match of the year. We're gonna be back on the 11th against Fiorentina in the regularly scheduled match, but yeah, just walk us through from your perspective.
Yeah, so I will say it's good that we have opportunity to play with Marseille today because it's international game, and after short break, what we had, it's good that we have this friendly match, I think. And of course, everyone knows that our goal is to be the first 5th, like in the 5th that we play games like against Scudetto. So we are, I think. Now we are 5th, so it's good. But I think we need to go like step by step, game by game, and not to giving us a lot of pressure that we to be there, because it's happened also last year. After some couple of games, after 11 games, I think we were also 5th. But then came after the break, winter break, we had some games and it was getting not so well. So I think we need to just see like every game to having a new goal and winning the game like game by game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard not to get excited, but it is very true that in this first season, also under the ownership of Mercury, there's a lot of changes. It is really important to acknowledge that. Since we came in, we've brought in a new coach, Mr. Stefano Sottili. A lot of the coaching staff changed. A lot of the squad have changed, right? A lot of new players came in. And then, the rebrand, Nike coming in as a partner. Now, we have a new title sponsor, We Are 8, that's making its debut on the jersey this season and will be with us for the next 2.5 seasons. So, I think it's hard to not get excited because I think everyone wants you guys to do great. One of the values actually that we have for the team is that we are the underdog, but with main character energy. And this is really what we've seen on the field. But I agree with you. Game by game, and hopefully, today we get a good result. So now I'm going to have you back in a little bit. Please look at the game, and you can come back and tell us a little bit more about how they're doing and how they're performing today.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for having us. Okay. Next up, I'm going to have Lucia Lobato, who joined Olympique Marseille last summer. She was born in New York, and she played in Ireland and Portugal. Lucia, as you know, this is my first ever time commentating, so we're gonna take this minute by minute. But obviously, we've been speaking about Como quite a lot, but today we're playing against Olympique Marseille, a team that has a huge legacy and is world-renowned. You guys also have some of the craziest fans in the world.
I know, that's for sure anyway.
Lucia, so firstly, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit more about you outside of what I just mentioned.
Yeah, so my name's Lucia Lovato, and I grew up in Ireland, and I went to college in the States, and over there I was able to continue my studies and play football at the same time, and the US accommodates that, so it was a good choice for me. And then after that, just this time last year, I went to Portugal, and I did 5 months over in Portugal, and then when the opportunity came to play for Marseille, there was no questions about it. I wanted to take the opportunity.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so you guys are in Italy basically right before you start you restart your regular season. You're playing against us, and then on Monday you're playing against Juventus.
Yeah.
Correct?
Two great teams are playing in Italy, so it'll be great for us.
Amazing. So actually, I'm curious. I'm going to ask questions that I don't think a lot of commentators would ever ask. But what is your perception of Como from the outside? Like, I mean, what did you know of the team? Maybe you didn't never heard of us before.
Well, to be honest, I heard of Lake Como.
Okay.
So that
Fair.
was something. Yeah, that was something cool.
Okay.
And I knew that Como was in Serie A as well. It's a strong team. Very strong team, and I know on the men's side as well, they're doing well. There's some big names over with the men's side, so I wasn't too familiar with the women's side, but here I am, and I know the caliber of players that they have now that I'm here, and I met some of the girls yesterday.
Amazing.
So yeah, it's great to see.
Favorite player of Como that you've met?
Favorite player, probably Serena.
Serena.
Yeah, she's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, she is. She is. This at the. I don't know if you heard me scream the goal.
Yeah,
it's probably gonna be a highlight of my career, because I don't think anyone is gonna let me do this again after this match.
No, you're doing brilliant. You're fine, totally fine. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you. Look, I grew up in Argentina. And you know, over there people are pretty crazy about football.
They are.
My brother was an ultra fan, kind of like the Marseille crazy people.
Yeah.
And I grew up going to a stadium with him since I was very young. I've actually never played soccer.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. I lose all my credibility if you put me anywhere near a football.
Okay.
But I've always, as a fan, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And as a female fan, I always cared about other things, not so much about the technical aspect. And so today, you know, one of the things we wanted to try out with our partners, our DAZN, was, you know, how can we actually involve the players more into the broadcasting? Because you guys have very interesting and inspiring stories. You know, you've gone through a lot to be able to become professional athletes.
Yeah.
And at the moment, we're experiencing this huge momentum in women's sports, right?
Exactly. I was just about to say, it's not only in women's football, it's in women's sport in general. Yeah, there's a huge growth in it, and I think it's just the investment that's going in. You can see the reward after, and it's amazing. So
I guess as a player, I think that this is a good question. Like, as a player, how do you realize that what's happening at the moment is going to be in history books?
I know, it's crazy. It's
crazy, right?
When we're playing through it, sometimes we don't get to see it, but when you take a step back and you kind of just look at the bigger picture at what's going on and everything, that's how far it's come, you know, you can see the differences and the strides that we're making. We have a long way to go yet, though.
I mean, from the US to Europe, I can imagine that there's a few differences.
Yeah, well, I was just in the US for college. So, of course, they have the facilities there. You know, they invest in the college and the universities over there. And then when I came back to Europe, in Portugal, it's getting bigger, the league over there as well. And in Ireland as well. In Ireland, it's not professional yet, but there's quality players who play in the league over there.
I know. I've been following actually quite a lot.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes,
so
yes.
It's nice to see when teams invest in the girls and in the staff and everything, you can see how amazing something can become.
And how fast as well. I mean, here in Italy, it was professionalized 2.5 years ago.
That's madness. That's
mad?
madness. Yeah, it's crazy.
And look, now, it's 2.5 years later. It actually happened for the 2022 Women's UEFA Champions League final.
Okay.
That was hosted in Torino.
Yeah.
And as part of that, they basically, with the federation, after a long time, made the decision to professionalize the league.
It was a good decision.
Exactly.
Probably a bit too late, but happy it came anyway.
But look, in places like Ireland, it hasn't happened yet.
That's
so
the thing,
this is like, I think, the magnitude of what's happening in women's sports. Because I agree with you, it's not only just a football thing. Is that people are realizing that it's growing so fast. And they catching up with the infrastructure, right?
Exactly, yeah. People want to be a part of it. They want to be a part of the growth, and everyone's welcome if they're going to enhance it. Why not? Yeah.
Well, by the end of the day, it's about you guys and being able to give you, a place where you can thrive, where you can grow, when you can really focus on being a professional athlete.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that, especially in places where it's not professionalized, like, you have to have another job. You need to be doing other things, and but the goal here is to change that and to.
Yeah, exactly. Just like for this, for example, these friendly matches, it's an investment to us. And to prepare us for the season, so both teams will start how they want to start and finish the season strong.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
Well, Lucia, thank you so much for joining me.
Of course, of course.
Welcome to Como. I hope that you come back. Yes, I'm not really cheering for Olympique Marseille. I shouldn't be saying this, but
okay, I'll be cheering for them.
There you go.
No worries.
You should scream goal if it happens,
No
because
worries.
I might not do that. But it was so nice to meet you. Thank you so much. Okay, so guys, we are at 41 minutes. Next up, we have the actual culprit. The reason why I'm sitting right now on this chair, freezing my butt. This is Elena Mirandola, the CEO of Como Women, who joined the club in August of last year. And she's actually... Oh, goal! Goal! Goal by Julia Carleras! Vamos! Oh, man, this is great. Everyone is loving it. Everyone is loving it.
Everyone is laughing at us.
I mean, this is really how it happens.
Yeah,
and
we are having a lot of fun, aren't we?
Yeah. I mean, I'm having a blast. I'm not sure if I will continue having a career in football after this, but you give it your best.
I think you're doing great, Vic.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, Elena. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. So, I think a lot of people know, obviously, that you're the CEO of the club and that you've come in with the new ownership. But I want people to get to know who you are, I guess, off the pitch, right? Off Cislago. Who is Elena and what's your story, where you came from?
Well, that's a good question. I'm going to start with a fun fact. I don't actually come from football. I always say this. I come from 20 years of experience in consulting and media, so I bring a very different approach and background to the club.
I.e. why I am the person commentating this match.
And I have a big love for sport, which is one of the reasons also why I decided to take up this new challenge. I am not a professional athlete for sure, but I love triathlon and I love endurance sports. So I thought there wouldn't be a better way to combine together my business experience with my love for sport. Something is happening in the area. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. So yeah, that's one of the main reasons why I decided to join. So really combining sport with my business background.
Amazing, yeah.
And last but not least, I fall in love with the Mercury 13 guys. because I really love this idea of growing women football and starting from Como as one of their first club of the portfolio. I think it's just amazing, and I really wanted to be part of it.
I'm smiling. Thank you very much. Well, I guess this is a good segue into explaining to people a little bit about Italy as a market, right? For those who don't know, us buying our inaugural club in the Italian league was not like a very obvious thing to do. It's probably in Europe, I guess, sits fifth right now in terms of where the development of the leagues are. And as you will all know, in Italy is a country. Oh, okay, sorry. Whoa! Vamos, Eli! Gol de Eli del Estal!
I feel a bit sorry for the ones listening in. No, amazing.
I'm having the absolute time of my life. 3-0 for Como.
Amazing.
Woman.
Very proud.
Let's go. This is amazing. Eli del Estal, as I was telling earlier, has 2 degrees, 2 masters, is pursuing a PhD, and now she scored the 3rd goal of this friendly match against Olympique Marseille. Okay, back to you, Elena. I'm sorry about this, but every chance that I will take, I will scream this.
And they always take priority, right?
They do. They do. Wow, we are watching them play after all. So, oh, okay, done. End
of first time.
End of first time. I actually. Okay, well, I had convinced people that I should take the halftime off, but they're telling me 5 more minutes. So here we are.
Okay.
Okay. So quickly, tell us what's the vision here for Como. As a brand, as a team, you know, we are in a very privileged position, I think, in terms of where the league, right? And this is what I was talking before Eli scored. But, you know, what is our role as Como women in this league, and what is the vision for this club?
Hello people, me again. Fight week on DAZN is non-stop action. Access all areas of the biggest fights. That and so much more, even before the bell rings.
DAZN is the global home of women's football, bringing you the best live games. With the biggest stars, battling it out in the biggest competitions.
Cue the chaos! First blood in the title decider. Would you believe it?
Witness every season-defining moment.
Written in the stars!
Live and on demand, only on DAZN.
Strap yourselves in, everyone. Let's go!
National League has a new home.
We've got lots to look forward to here on DAZN.
All of the matches.
The early shot is a really good one.
All in one place.
It's a great ball, it's a super goal!
Live or on demand.
Fabulous!
Available on any device.
That's a goal! And scores majestically!
It all starts here.
National League TV now on DAZN. Sign up at DAZN.com/NLTV.
47 years of promoting boxing. What a ride it's been.
I
was 23 years old at the time. I got an invite from the Boxing Board of Control to take a licence out. Back then, it was all run by the cartel.
We have a new promoter in British Championship Boxing, Frank Warren.
People liked it, I think, the fact that someone was taking the cartel on. I've never been afraid about shaking things up and working with new media.
This is a bit of a dream come true.
Pay-per-view, satellite TV.
Very proud of Amir. What he done was fantastic.
Bringing shows in from America Live. I've been lucky enough to promote some of the biggest names in boxing.
I'd like to thank Mr. Frank Warren for having me over here.
Just when you think it can't get any bigger, my mobile rang. We get this call from His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. Off we went to the races. I'm as competitive as my fighters, and I fight for my fighters. I'm always looking for the next challenge, and I know there's one there now.
Queensbury arrives at the home of boxing, DAZN, multi-year deal, let's go.
This is a company that is devoted to boxing. They have a worldwide platform. And for us, that is very, very important to do what Queensbury is doing, to be expanding and building, working together for the betterment of boxing, as I believe it will be.
The world was very much your oyster. You looked well far and beyond Canada. Was there any particular reason why you decided to go to Europe at such a young age?
Yeah, in Canada there wasn't really any avenue of playing at a very high level, so you had to think outside of North America. The MLS was starting to pick up. It was getting a little bit better and better, you know, as time went on. But I grew up watching football and watching European football. United was my team growing up. Actually, there was a Trinidadian player where I come from. My parents are from Trinidad. They had a player that was playing for United, Dwight York. And,
of course, yeah.
So he was the player that, you know, I really started focusing on at a young age. And I said, you know, I would love to get that chance of playing, you know, on a big stage in front of, you know, big stadiums with a lot of fans in there. And that's basically what kind of sparked my interest. At first, I was more about just, you know, having fun. I loved it the first moment I started playing it, and, you know, I had a lot of friends and some of my cousins and such that I played it. So the people around me, we played a lot, and I really just loved the game, you know, just being out there all the time and, you know, touching the ball as much as I could. And I guess the older I got is when I started thinking, you know, more serious about it, thinking, you know, maybe I have a chance at pushing it further and making it a career. Once I realized I was a bit better than, you know, the kids around me. So yeah, it started with playing with like the provincial team, which was, you know, the better players from all the clubs around in that area, Ontario, where I grew up. So I got selected to that team, and I started thinking a bit more like, you know, I'm playing with some of the better players around in our province, and, you know, I'm still kind of standing out. So you start thinking, you know, maybe there's a future in, you know, pushing this forward.
Some late drama. Of course we will.
Brilliant finish.
Ravens think they have the ball, and they do.
Every opportunity you get, you want to make a play. Allen has to throw it. Touchdown.
How do you like it?
He's in. He's in. Actually scored.
Spectacular.
Oh, that's what Ronaldo will do. off with Conor McGregor.
Combat fighting in its purest form.
There is no show in the world like the BKFC.
Hello people, me again. Fight Week on DAZN is non-stop action. Access all areas of the biggest fights.
That's fantastic.
From grand arrivals and weigh-ins.
I'm not here around, I'm here for war.
To open workouts and pandemonium at the presses.
It would have been so much fun.
All analysed by the biggest names in boxing.
I'll end this. Get him out of boxing, it's over.
That and so much more, even before the bell rings.
Hey, listen up.
Let's have it.
We know you've always got your eye on the prize, the championship belt. And why wouldn't you? You're a finely tuned, well-oiled boxing watching machine, capable of consuming over 150 fights on DAZN every year.
We've gone big, we've gone global.
Churning through combinations, comebacks, and non-stop knockouts.
Where are you?
With big fights every week, you're the best in the world. So go on, get that belt, champ. DAZN, undisputed.
Hey everyone, I'm Ariel.
And I'm Ade.
Introducing the Ariel and Ade Boxing Show. All the headlines and hard-hitting debate from the world of boxing.
And we've got special guests every single week.
So if you love boxing, you'll love this program.
Every Tuesday, live on DAZN.
X-Series on DAZN, where superstars meet.
It's not going to be your usual show.
And chaos unfolds.
Are you not entertained?
Nights like no other, where anything and everything happens.
Are you kidding me?
Where dreams are built in a heartbeat and shattered in seconds. Defying expectations, where underdogs conquer.
That changes everything!
And champions are crowned.
Am I now the queen of misfits?
DAZN is the home of crossover boxing.
When the lights shine bright and you've made the lonely walk. The cage door locks. It's just you and them. Fight! But DAZN is always in your corner. Elite MMA on DAZN.
Hello, hello everyone. We're here for the second half of the Como Women versus Olympique Marseille friendly match here at our training grounds at Chislago. I'm Victoire. Oh my God, look at my hair. They decided to put a camera on us. I guess it's going well, otherwise this would not be happening, but I wasn't really okay guys, sorry. Nobody can be perfect all the time.
You're perfect all the time, Victoire. Come on.
Thank you, thank you. It's freezing, right?
It's freezing.
It is. So we're in beautiful Lake Como. Just for context for whoever's joining now, I'm Victoire Kojevina, and this is Zoe Kalar. She's the CEO and founder of We Are 8, who today was unveiled on the front of our jersey. And it is a very special day, I will say, for me personally. As I've been a huge fan of you and the work that you've been doing, and I think it's a great opportunity for you to introduce yourself and what We Are 8 is all about, and the reasons why you made this move, which I think was kind of a predictable one, right? Of becoming the title sponsor of a professional women's football team.
I think, firstly, your vision for how these women and the club can change the world, because this is not just women's football. This is a club and women who are overcoming everything and living their biggest dreams, and that's really what 8 is all about. It's about the infinite power of everyone individually and then as a collective. And we knew that we want, I mean, from a platform perspective, think TikTok, Insta and Twitter had a love baby with a conscience, where your algorithms are unlocked and we can build positive community in a really different way. And we've eradicated through our AI models all the toxicity. So it creates this positive energy and positive framework to build community on a whole new level in a way that football's never seen.
I love that.
Your team and these women and your vision were just a perfect match.
Yeah.
You know, if Facebook was created in a Harvard dorm room, then I love the idea of We Are 8 and global change being created by 25 women that are on this planet to change the world.
I love that. I love that. Zoe is one of the most inspirational people I've met. And it's incredible to see this vision come to life. And I think in terms of, you know, We Are 8 and explaining people, you know, how they actually can get involved as well, right? Because, you know, now it's 2025, New Year's, which is a few days ago, and I think that most people had on their resolution list spend less time on my phone, right?
Yeah.
And I will say, like, I'm a victim of this myself, right? I do spend a lot of time on social, and sometimes, or most of the time, at the end of it, I kind of feel like I could have done something else with my time.
Yeah.
I could have spent time with my daughter. I could have, you know, I could have done so many other things. And what I love about We Are 8 is that it's really been built to not be addictive.
Purposefully.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it can really be a space where you maybe spend 10 minutes a day on it, and you get to, you know, share your content and actually have it reach your audience, right? Because there's no algorithms blocking anything. So
people that follow you will see you.
Exactly. And then the other way around, you get to also see people that you care about, and because of the AI models that you've introduced, it all is free of abuse, which I think is a pretty you know, it's a problem nowadays.
Not anymore. Right?
Not anymore.
I mean, it's taken us 4 years and $50 million to
create
the problem, eradicate this problem. But now I think when people feel safe and protected, then the inspiration begins. And when we unlock the algorithms so your followers can see you, like I look at these women on the field and I think, wow, every single one of them can have 5, 6, 10 million followers on 8, and those people will actually see them. Like that puts them on a level that's greater than anything that exists, even the biggest people on Instagram today. And that's exciting to me, because then that unlocks economic deals where they can double, triple, quadruple their salaries over time. So by unlocking the algorithms and unlocking the economics, and with the energy and the dreams and the vision and the overcoming the adversity that the women have gone through, everything becomes possible.
Yeah, it's just hearing you talk is reminding me of the first time we've ever met. We met actually thanks to Luis Vicente in Thinking Portugal at a conference where I was on stage, and you... Actually, Jürgen as well.
Yeah, totally. The amazing
Jürgen as well.
of Common Goal.
Common Goal, exactly. Also made that introduction. And, you know, I remember sharing a little bit about kind of the why of why we're doing this whole project. And the word emancipation and freedom came quite a lot. And, you know, and I'll speak for women's football, but then we can connect it to We Are 8. In this past few years, it's become abundantly clear that financial independence is the first step to true
emancipation. True freedom.
Exactly, true freedom. And that's true for women's football clubs or women teams within football clubs, as well as women in general. Right? If you're able to control your financial destiny, then you're making the decisions that are best fit for you. And then your potential is in your hands. And the end result of all of that is the freedom of choice, the freedom of doing what you really want to do, of loving who you want to love.
To be who you want to be, right?
To be who you want to be. And this is kind of like the bedrock around Mercury 13 and around why we believe in building sustainable businesses out of these football clubs and making sure that, you know, they don't depend on, you know, federations or governments or on their men's team, that they can actually generate for themselves and then utilize that to continue to grow. And it all boils down to one word and one feeling, which is freedom. How does freedom play a role in We Are 8, right?
And do you know, as I hear you talk, and I feel so inspired by everything you're saying, because it's the same, we're doing the same work at the end of the day. I mean, you've built the team and the vision for all the teams around the world and elevating these women, and we are the technology that just unlocks the freedom to be yourself and be protected from any abuse, just freedom to be your biggest self, freedom to grow your audience globally and have them actually see you, freedom to build your community around you and actually feel that love where everything is possible, and then unlocked economics. So it's social, creative, and economic freedom. If I think of one word that represents 8, it really is freedom. Freedom in every way, which is, and when I look at your vision for the clubs and the larger vision for Mercury 13, it is, and it's going to happen faster than we think. You know, because when you unlock the economics, and we can't do that. I mean, women's football can't do things the same way as the men. You know, it's changing dramatically. I even look at what you're doing with DAZN, like right now. That, by the way, is so cool to have the owner of a club and the creator of this vision commentating. You know,
I'm still, I mean, the jury's still out. The jury's still out. We still have about 30 more minutes. So hopefully it's going to be a successful thing and I will not be fired from my job. But yeah, I mean, again, I think it's about experimenting and about, you know, making, or not making sure, but really understanding that this is something different.
Yeah.
And as such, it needs to be treated in a different way as well, right? And we are incredibly, there you go, you can see that.
I love that.
You know, it's actually also Zoe's son. She has 3 sons, but one of her sons, Charlie, is here as well, which has been so special.
So special. He's fallen in love with women's football.
Hey,
through the day.
This is honestly, like, this is my goal of today. And generally speaking, if you've ever like heard me pitch or talk about Como, at the end of the day, like, what I really want to do is make sure people become a fan of this team and follow them and understand that on this pitch there's now 11 women, but you know, in the club there's 20 plus women that are becoming the face of change, right? They are, and they have been for many years, doing something that is not, it wasn't common. Being a woman and playing football in a country like Italy is not an evident thing to do.
Yeah.
And they've done it, and they have all these crazy stories of resilience that, you know, I believe fans really need to know and learn of, and then, you know, follow. And I think that we're going to be able to see a lot of that on We Are 8, which is exciting. So if you're here and listening, pull out your phones, download the app.
Follow Victoire.
You can follow me. You can follow Como. You can follow the players. Even Olympique Marseille is on it as well.
Absolutely. You can follow OM Feminine. You can follow the players. And that's the beautiful thing about women's football.
Yeah.
Right? The way the players, who are competitors, all interact. It's so different and so inspiring because ultimately they're all on the same team.
Sorry, I thought there was another goal. And I want to scream goal again. No, there wasn't. Woo! Okay, they're in the box. I mean,
you know, and that's interesting when you look around. It's an entirely different experience to a men's game. It feels like family. You know, mothers, fathers, kids. When my 19-year-old son said, "Mum, please get me a shirt. They're just so cool." It's an inclusive, beautiful game.
It is. Well, Zoe, thank you so very much for everything, for coming, for being here, for supporting. And thank you, everyone who's listening on the other side and bearing with us in this new experiment. But the world is changing, and we're adapting, and we invite you all to be a part of the journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Victoire.
No,
congrats
please.
on everything.
Thank you. Okay, guys. So it's been an interesting second half. As I said, I am not here to make any comments on anything that's happening on the pitch. As I said earlier as well, I've never played football. And I would lose all my credibility if I ever did. So we're going to leave the football to the professionals. But now, speaking of professionals, I am joined by Stefano. He is the GM of the women's team at Olympique Marseille. Stefano, thank you so much for coming.
Pleasure.
And maybe let's start with a little bit of your background and your role within Olympique Marseille.
Sure. Well, look, I've been in football now for about 12 years, but originally I came from outside of the industry, which I think is probably something that has been happening over the last few years, of more people coming from outside, maybe with different ways of working and ideas, which is definitely something that football can benefit from. Very, very happy to be at Marseille. I think it's a testament to the support from Marseille's ownership group and the president, Pablo Longoria, to establish the role of essentially Director General or CEO for the women's side, to really start on the women's football, start reflecting the same level of ambition and objectives that we've been having since the inception of Olympique de Marseille, and apply that to the women's side as well. You know, we're still quite a new organization. Women's football in Marseille has only 11 years now, and so
you're double the age of Como Women.
There you go. So we're two startups, if you want.
Yeah.
In fact, you know, we can benefit, and it's amazing to do that. We can benefit from the passion and the fan base that OM has across the world, in France and across the world. But at the same time, we're very much a startup within the world of OM. It's just something that we feel is obviously something great for the women's side of things, but also for the club as a whole, to have a bit of an incubator within the broader universe of OM, while we also, of course, look to achieve great objectives.
Speaking of objectives, walk us through a little bit your season, where you are at the moment, where are the goals, where you're trying to do. So obviously this has been very not objectively about Como Women, but that doesn't mean that we're not incredibly excited to, you know, be collaborating with you. I know from my whole team that you've been very open about trying new things. We've created some really great content as well, and at the end of the day, you know, being able to share learnings and experiences, I think is very important and crucial at this moment in time. So yes, walk us through a OM season, and if OM scores whilst you're here, you're going to have to scream the same way I screamed.
Oh, well.
Sorry, not sorry.
Well, look, I try to keep my cool in football, right? Otherwise, it...
No, this is the day you lose your cool, because I'm not going to be the only one. But,
let's hope, then. Let's hope in a goal. But look, this is very much, I would say, a transition year for OM on the women's side. It's a...
Give full context.
Yeah.
So maybe like someone that has never heard of Olympique, obviously
Completely.
Olympique Marseille, the women's team. In what division are you? Like,
Completely, yeah. So look, as I said, we've been around for 11 years as a women's team, beyond a stint about 40 years ago where OM did exist as a women's team. We created 11 years ago. Of those 11 years, the club has played 3 years in first division and 8 years between second and third division. So it's very much building from the bottom. And this year, I joined in September, so I'm relatively new to the club. We're very new to the club. We've had a bunch of both off-pitch and on-pitch changes with a good number of players coming in new this season. And you know, so right now we are in second division. We are joint third. And you may or may not know that in the second division in France, the first two teams go up. And yeah, good.
but yes, someone told me you were fourth. So
yes, yeah, we're joint points in fourth, and actually that brings up an interesting point, because by goal difference right now we're fourth, right? And actually last season the team came in second, and therefore naturally you would have thought they're going to get promoted, right? And that we're going to be in first division. But actually by a rule that is different in first division to second division, by a difference in direct confrontations rather than goal difference, the club didn't go up to first division.
No way.
Yeah, exactly that. So the club actually, by all intents and purposes, earned its promotion last season, and so there was a lot of heartbreak for a lot of people last season.
Oh my God, that sounds awful. This is a part of football that sometimes, you know, especially for new fans coming into the game, and I think women's football is just doing that. It's like blasting open a door for fans that were never really invited. And I personally kind of suffered that myself, in the sense that I sometimes didn't know all the rules and regulations, and I was kind of called like not a real fan.
That's unfair. I don't think anybody should be considered an unreal fan, and I think actually I've seen progress in that sense. I remember when I was at Liverpool Football Club about 10 years ago, there was a lot of internal arguments of saying we can't believe, as a club we were saying, we can't believe that some fans are still saying, oh, if you're an Indonesian fan or a Norwegian fan and whatnot, you're not as real a fan as a you know, Liverpoolian. And that for us was unacceptable, and luckily the general fan base really understood that and got behind that concept. And I think the same thing applies to women's football. Maybe there's different reasons why people will come and watch a women's football match. Everybody can find their own reason. The whole point is support the players, because actually often the players in women's football have had to struggle just as much, if not even more, than in men's football. There's less resources, there's less attention on it, which means that also to make a living in women's football is more difficult. So I always think that actually we should really be appreciative and proud of players that have to work harder to achieve what they have to achieve, right? And you know, and that's also an issue around the rules of the game. Right now, what you've seen, and probably you've seen it in Italy as well, there's an increased professionalization of women's football. And probably if you exclude the States, which for many years has been way ahead of everyone else, you have England now where they finally spun off women's football as a league and professionalized both the first and the second division. And I mean finally, because it's definitely important for women's football to have its own platforms with its own ecosystem of governance, of sponsorship, sporting performance, attention to different issues that even from a medical and performance perspective happen only in women's football versus men's football. So that's very positive. But in this transition, there's a lot of rules that actually need to adapt. And you know, there's a lot of also talk of how do you balance the existence of women's clubs that are linked to a men's club with all the resources that brings, because inevitably there's more resources, versus a fully independent team like yourselves. And as much as at OM we want to have our women's side reflect an independent identity within the OM universe and do things a bit differently, we can benefit from the resources of the entire club, and we can benefit from a huge international and obviously French fan base of millions and millions of people. And I actually think that independent women's clubs are very important to the whole ecosystem, because I think they add something different and a different focus, and that's why also we were very happy to be able to arrange this friendly with you guys at Como Women. But at the same time, that also means that there's challenges around governance and rules that I think the leagues and the federations are still figuring it out. And yeah, I think it's growing pains, right? Just like at OM, right? We're going through a transition of establishing how are we going to become a first division club, but not a first division club just to be there and survive. We want to be in the top half of the table. But doing that, look, you can get lucky one year and get promoted, or you can have an exceptional year and get promoted. But actually what we want to do, and I think is the right way for any club to go about it, is to build bases gradually, right? You want to have
the foundations.
Completely. Yes. You want to have the right infrastructure, the right people, the right objectives, the right processes, so that as you grow, you stay there. And if you ever do take a step back, you're ready to take those 2 steps forward, right? So
this is great. I mean, I'm finding this fascinating. I don't think it's often that you get to hear during a match kind of the viewpoints of everyone involved in the ecosystem, right? So since the beginning of the match, we've had players, we had sponsors, we had CEOs, GMs, and you know, very soon before the end of the match, we'll have a journalist as well that's gonna come give her perspective. What are your thoughts around this particular type of broadcast? I'm going to put you on the spot. Yeah, no idea. I'm going to ask you this question. But, you know, we're here, and as you were saying, independent clubs, there's a little bit more freedom, right? Because there's not a huge legacy. And we are able to look forward when we're making decisions rather than rely on what has happened in the past and what's important and what's not. And so, you know, when you look at Como from the outside, which I think it's interesting, especially for me, I'll say that. How do you view us, and what are the things you think we should be doing more of? Maybe, and by the way, please be fully transparent. If you think this type of commenting and broadcasting should never happen again, you'll probably not be the first or the last. But
no, look, I think you definitely need to push the envelope and do things differently, because as I said, I do think that the women's football audience can come at it for different reasons. And look, there's many people that are starting to get into even, you know, football in general because of culture, because of music, because of the celebrity factor of some players, and that's all very well and good. And I think that in women's football, there's even more angles available. I'll give you the example of my lived experience. Before coming to Marseille, I was, you know, running a club in the lower leagues of English football, and what that allowed us to do compared to a Premier League club was actually become much more family-oriented, do activities for young kids, have literally hundreds of kids participating in the action of meeting the players, playing games at halftime and so forth, right? And so that enabled a direct access to football.
No.
No, not there yet. Not there yet. Trust me, you'll hear me scream.
Man, I so want you to scream this. I just, not that I want Olympique to score any goals, but I think it would be.
Might as well,
okay.
right?
You might as well.
The
exactly.
more goals, the merrier.
Drama.
Yeah.
You want drama.
But it goes back to the point of what you want to do is I think break the mold so that more people have access to football, because I think that's the key issue with football right now is access. Everybody can watch football, even though it's become increasingly expensive on TV or on social media. But in terms of having direct access to the action, there we are. There we are.
Come on.
Is it a goal? Yes, it's a goal.
Come on.
Goal!
No, come on, more.
More. What do you want that?
More.
Vamos, goal! There you go. I did it for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. This is the GM of Olympique Marseille who said that he never loses his cool.
Never.
But he did today, and he did it for us. So thank you very much.
My pleasure.
3-1. It was
yeah, there was a bit of a shirt pull, but MC, who's our top goal scorer for this season, so far, yeah, she went for it. She in the true Marseillaise spirit, and that's sort of part of it, right? If you think of the identity even that we have in Marseille, and I think more women's clubs can adopt, it's the image of the strong woman that doesn't play second fiddle to what happens in men's football, right? And then when you have opportunities like what we're doing here with this broadcast and many other things that I think are possible in women's football, there's events that we're planning as well. Oh, there you go. Oh, you got one too. Come on, go for it.
Oh, no, it wasn't a goal.
No? Oh, there you go. But
Stefano.
I heard you scream. That's what matters.
Stefano.
I got one back on you.
I mean, I really.
But it was a good action. But look.
Okay, let's see. Maybe now. I see Ellie. No. Okay.
But look, keep on pushing the envelope, because there's a lot of things, and there's a lot of ways that you can give access to football that is more difficult to do at the highest levels of football, whether it's men's football or women's football, right? Tickets are very expensive these days. Watching football on TV is expensive these days. So creating environments where young families, people from different backgrounds can get close to the action, that I think is incredibly important, particularly for youth. It has to be about youth. It has to be about young boys and girls. And actually, if you look at what's happening increasingly, I see it in Marseille, I've seen it in England, where more and more young boys go to women's football matches. That's amazing. And that's amazing for many reasons, but there's a practical reason behind it. It's an environment where you're giving access. It's safe. It's enjoyable. It's easy to consume. Right, and I think the more we do that, the more actually football in general is going to grow. Because at some point we're going to have to stop differentiating between men's and women's football, right? And women's football has a part to play in that.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much for joining me, for coming here, for being so open. Your team has shown nothing but professionalism, and we are hopefully going to collaborate for many more times in the future. I know you're going to play with Juve on Monday. They are at the top of our table at the moment. So good luck.
Thank you very much.
Hope that you also have fun and enjoy it. And see you very, very soon.
Thank you very much, Victor. Pleasure.
Please. Okay, guys, we are here watching a friendly match. If you're joining right now and you're wondering who is this person speaking, I am Victor Kojavina. I am the co-CEO and co-founder of Mercury 13. My co-founder and I, Mario, started this company last year to essentially build brands that speak to a new audience. And in doing so, really elevating and building true emancipation for women's football teams. Como Women is the first team in our portfolio. We've been proud owners of the club since March. And today, it's a very special occasion for many reasons, including the fact that we are hosting football giant Olympique Marseille here at our training grounds in Cislago. but also, and thanks to the vision of a lot of people within the club, we are trying something new, a new type of broadcasting. And my guest right now, Lisa, will bring her perspectives as a journalist and as a storyteller for women's football. Yes. So, Lisa, thank you so much, firstly, for coming. I know you came flown from Denmark for this, right? Why don't you give us a little bit of background on yourself, and how did you start writing about women's football?
Yes, first of all, I grew up playing football myself, and that's often where the interest sometimes starts. And then I started like my journalistic career with reviewing sports books, sports biographies, and you automatically...
Oh, sorry.
No.
Stefano, I don't know if you hear me, but I'm looking at you. Next time there's a goal, you're going to be screaming. No.
It's very close.
No. Stefano! No goal. Penalty, everyone. Penalty! In French, they're saying penalty. And? Is there penalty?
What?
No. Okay, no penalty. It was a handball. Okay, I'm not. And I will make a huge shout out to commentators, because this is not an easy job by absolute no means.
No.
I do love to speak, and I think you told me this before. You're like, I've done it once, and like, yeah, I just like spoke the entire time.
I just spoke, and afterwards you're like, what was I saying? But you're just hoping that you said something that the viewer will appreciate
and enjoy. Exactly.
Yes.
I often compare kind of how men and women experience these matches, and like I see my husband a lot kind of using football matches over the weekend to connect with his friends. Like it's the moment where he's like talking to them and he's asking them, did you watch that goal? Did you have this? And they're really like connecting over it. We women don't need any excuses to call each other. So it really it is other things that will make us interested in this. So anyways,
that's true.
Speaking about us loving to talk to each other and needing no excuses to that, I interrupted you, so sorry for that.
No, there was an almost goal. So
okay, exactly. There you go.
Most almost thing.
Yeah, penalty.
Yeah.
For the French speaking audience over here, sorry, my name is Victoire. I couldn't get any more French than that, so I'm not making fun, but there's a lot of languages happening in the background because there's players from all over the world. So okay, so sorry, Lisa.
No.
So you started your journalistic career by reviewing books and documentaries.
Yeah, and that's when you realize a lot of them are about men. I think that combination of always having played football myself and being really interested in...
What was your position?
It was midfield, or forward. Like when I was very young. I like...
Kind of like Nischler. Yeah, there you go. So for those who weren't with us at the beginning of the match, I kind of went through all the players that have been playing today, and Nischler joined us in the second half now, number 7. Nischler is one of those Cinderella football stories. She, about 5 months ago, was virtually unknown. She was in the 3rd division of Italian football, and our sporting director, Miro, really believed that she was someone that we needed to take a bet on. And so she joined us at the beginning of the season, made her debut as a professional in the Serie A against AC Milan at our stadium. And okay, good. And she basically since then has had an incredible first half season. She was at some point the top scorer.
Okay.
Pretty amazing, considering, 5 months ago she was an accountant working 40-hour week, right?
What?
Yeah, Lisa is like, what? She was working 40 hours weeks as an accountant, running payroll here in Italy, and after dinner she'd go and train with her team in the Serie C, and then play over the weekends. This is Nischler. There you go. She's on camera at the moment. And now, 5 months later, she has scored 7 goals and is second as a top scorer in the Serie A. Has been called MVP several times now, and wait for this, on the 22nd of November was called up for the first time by the Italian national team. Isn't that cool?
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Right?
Like, does she still work as an accountant?
No,
Or, like,
no.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know if Elena is making her work as an accountant here, but I hope she's not. I hope she's not. No, she's, and I've been speaking to a lot of her teammates, obviously, and it's amazing. Almost. It's amazing to hear how they talk about her, because she's very focused and incredibly ambitious, and all she wants is to make sure that the team wins, and you can see that on the pitch. She's definitely a player to keep up with, to follow, and to see where she's going to go. We're proud to have her here.
Yeah, and it sounds like a very typical story for a lot of women footballers, that they either have a second career, a second job next to their footballing career.
I mean,
so it's
here in the... Sorry, we keep watching here to see if there's going to be a fourth goal for Como. It is. I totally agree with you, and as we've been speaking with so many of the guests that have joined us today, I mean, I don't think anyone did not mention that, right? Like, it's a reality of women's football, and it's something that, having conversations with the players over the last few days, I kept asking them about their hobbies, outside of the pitch, and their interests. And of course you have players like Delestal and Vaitu Kaite, who, are pursuing degrees, Ramona Petzelberger as well. I mean, in the case of Delestal, the woman has 2 degrees, 2 masters, and is pursuing now a PhD in gender equality in football at the University of Barcelona. Isn't that insane? So, I mean, but my point, and back to your point of basically, oh my God, are you guys kidding me? Stop putting me on camera. My hair is a disaster.
Oh.
Anyways,
it's the weather.
I know. Yeah, it's the weather is not great. Okay, look, I love it that you keep doing it. So whoever is making these decisions, anyways, yes, the thing that I learned from speaking to them was that they're like, well, we really had to have other hobbies because we couldn't really only focus on women, on football, on being an athlete.
No.
And I kind of was, I started thinking about, well, it actually shows the 3-dimension of women when you're a professional athlete and you do all these other things. But for them, it was kind of I wish I didn't have to.
Yeah.
And I wish I could only be a professional athlete and just be on train and think about this all day long. So anyways, I think it's changing, and hopefully, with the okay, this is where my English is going to fail me. The professionalization. Yeah, there you go.
That's impressive. it's I think it's a difficult word in most languages to say correctly, honestly.
Denmark.
Professionalisering. The beautiful Danish tongue.
Oh my God. That sounds awful. Oh, wait, something's happening. Wait. Okay. Oh, we have an injured player. Okay, from Olympique Marseille. That's not good.
How do you say?
A stretcher.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a stretcher. That's not good. That's really never fun. Man, it's also really cold here. yesterday was so sunny and so like beautiful, but at the moment, you know, this is not the Lake Como finest.
It's actually Danish temperatures, I would say, right now.
You're used to it.
Yeah. It's very common.
You're used to it. Okay. We're hopefully nothing bad has happened over there.
No.
Game is 3-1. We are at minute 82, almost 83. It's probably going to be some additional time. But yeah, if any of you are joining right now, we're watching FC Como Women play a friendly match against Olympique de Marseille, who has come to Italy for the break in between the season, and they're facing us today, and we'll be playing on Monday against Juventus. Hopefully this is not anything bad, and I guess a segue maybe into talking about injuries in football. I think it's something that really unfortunately presides and has happened quite a lot. We heard about from Domenica Skorvankova earlier, Como woman. Guys, I know that you want to put the camera on me, but it's no bueno, as we say in Argentina.
Yeah, it's
Oh, thank you. I love you too. I have no idea who it was, but
it's never nice to look at yourself in the screen. It's
no.
But I was thinking about the thing about women footballers having to have an education and work and stuff. It is kind of ironic. I think that women are often portrayed still as kind of fragile, kind of sensitive, and when you're in reality, okay, they are doing all this without complaining at all ever, and they're still showing up for practice, they're still showing up for games, and so it's it doesn't really, there's no logic to that narrative.
I honestly will tell you, this is something I've kind of learned early in my career in football, but you will never meet a more resilient human being than a female football fan. Really, female football player.
And fans. No, I know what you meant.
It is really something that I've seen and experienced throughout my career. I'm sure that you have too.
Yeah.
And it comes from the understanding that until very recently there was no way of. Okay, so they just told me that they're gonna start showing all the goals of the match, and there we go. Woo! This was great. Goal from Bolden. As I was sharing earlier, Sarina is American Filipino, plays for the Philippines national team. She dreams one day of starting her own business, and believes she does. Hold a very important role in inspiring young American Filipino girls that would like to pursue a career in professional football.
And I think she scored the first goal.
Carlenas, Julia Carlenas. There we go. We've had some good goals this match, right? We had some good goals. Okay, back.
Now they're back on.
Lisa, I know our interview is coming to an end. I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna bring back on our CEO. But thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having
the trip. Where can we follow you?
I have an Instagram account called Estadio Comunale, which covers women's football, and then I write for Soccer Bible. Every once in a while. So Estadio Comunale, that's and definitely check out all the accounts that covers women's football. There's a lot of really good ones out there.
Well, now you have to start one on We're 8, right?
Yeah.
There you go. It was lovely to have you on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Just a few minutes away from ending this experience, and I'm sitting next to the culprit behind this, the person that had this idea of essentially introducing a new broadcast methodology, a new format that was a lot more rooted in storytelling. Elena, CEO of Como Women, we had you on earlier. A very important question, and I think a great way of ending this match. Before I run down, because I'm gonna be interviewing some people on the pitch. What is the vision of Como Women, and what are your hopes for the end of the season?
I think we have shown today that what we're trying to do is really breaking any barriers and doing, something very different. We want to create an environment where players can feel valued from a 360 degrees perspective. We are choosing for them the best trainers. We are choosing for them, like for example, a women doctor, so they can really feel at ease. But we're also trying to, for example, tackle some issues in women football, which is how you approach post-career. And so we have launched a program called Beyond, where we bring experts from outside and really trying to help the players starting to at least think about what they want to do after football. So, with all of these activities, we want to really make sure they feel nurtured, they feel taken care of, because we strongly believe that if they feel taken care of, they can perform very well on the pitch. And we have seen, this is definitely our best performance, all-time performance. We're now sitting at the 5th position in the championship, something we're super proud of. I don't want to say this too loud, because you never know until the end, but we're very confident that, we can really continue in that trajectory.
And this is, I think, the result of a lot of hard work from a lot of people.
Indeed, I can certify that.
Yeah, I'll start with my own co-founder, who really works around the operations and the football piece, and is really involved, and down to the team as well within Mercury, Hannah and Andy and Alejandra, and then here at Como, right? The head coach, the assistant coach, the sporting director. There's so many people that you do not see in the camera, or you don't see on the pitch, but these are the people that really have helped bring the team here, and it's just the beginning, as you said, and there's we're all too superstitious to be celebrating anything.
No, never celebrate until the end.
No, never ever. It's not done until it's not over until it's over. Woo!
No.
Okay.
Phew.
Good.
No, but definitely, I think, to echo what you're saying. Oh, I wasn't sure. I wasn't ready for the camera.
I'm telling you. Was this your idea to put the camera on? No, it was.
That one
actually,
wasn't mine.
You know what? I'm going to shout out our creative director, Ines. Ines Rovira. I'm going to even give your last name. She was the one that were like, we're going to put you in camera. You're going to be the reason why I've showed up in front of I don't know how many people. Yeah, thanks, Ines. But thank you for all your hard work anyways. But
yeah, I think we often forget about all of the work behind the scene, and for us this was really an experience, but also an opportunity to learn, to do something new, and just test it out. I think this is a big privilege that we have. We can be experimental, we can try new things, and I hope everyone enjoyed today. Actually, there were some comments on YouTube, you don't know this, with people saying, oh, I want to hear, a commentator again like this. I want her to be a commentator moving on forward in all games. So you got a new job. Ooh. Aya.
Oh my God.
No.
Thank God. Thank God. Okay,
so,
3-1.
Yes. So, Victoire, you got a new job. Official commentator of all games.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. It's actually been a privilege to be here. And
and thank you really from the bottom of my heart for, testing this yourself as well.
I'm always a huge fan of really experimenting, and we have this freedom here at the club, and we should continue to do it. For everyone that has been listening, been watching, firstly, thank you. Secondly, I'm sorry if I you know, broke your ears when I was screaming goals, but it was one of the best times of my life. I will say that. Please do send feedback.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know it's sometimes like not like fun, but if you want to see this happen more, like just tell us, like, we like this, we hated this, or like we would like to know more about this other thing. And if you're listening as well and you have better abilities to commentate than me, like, please also raise your hand, because we for sure
we
gonna
accept volunteers.
We accept volunteers, exactly. And by the way, Lake Como, when it's not the dead of the winter,
it's a pretty beautiful place to visit.
It is a great place to visit. There's a beautiful lake, there's sun, there's pizza, there's pasta, there's all these amazing things, and so we can host you there. But anyways, Elena, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
And now we're gonna watch the last few minutes of the match. We're minute 93. There's 5 minutes additional time, and then after that I'm gonna go on the pitch and try and get interviews. I'm gonna try and see who I can speak to kind of understand you know, how the players felt, if you know they're ready. They're gonna start their season on the 11th of January again against Fiorentina. Please tune in. I will most certainly not be commentating that match or any Serie A official matches. However, you know, we will continue to explore and see and understand what are the things. Oh, look! This is Lucia, who was with me, right? Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I love people are looking at me. I have Andy, who leads our operations on Mercury 13. He's like, are you okay? Are you fine? I'm like, yeah, I mean, I have been speaking for about 2 hours now, not really knowing what I'm doing. But from what I hear and everyone's reactions, it looks like it's going like, yeah, kind of okay. But thank you, Andy. You've been a huge part of putting this together and executing it. Again, Ines, another culprit, putting me on camera in my worst hair day since the beginning of 2025. Thank you as well for all the work. Alessio, Martina, our press officer. There's so many people that you know, are behind the camera and behind these players, making this all possible. So huge thank you on behalf of myself and Mario to all of you. And yeah, we hope that this is just the beginning of a lot of success and transformation with new partners and new people within the ecosystem. Okay, so we're now overtime. Hopefully the match is gonna end soon. Maybe another goal. Nischler? Almost. Okay, game is over. I've survived. This is, wow. What an experience. Okay, I'm gonna run down and I'll see you guys in a second. Yes. Okay, guys, we're almost at the end of this friendly match. FC Como Women versus Olympique Marseille here at Chislago, the training grounds of FC Como Women. I'm Victoria. I've been your host and your commentator for today. Thank you so much for everyone's patience. And I've been hearing there's been a lot of comments on socials. Thank you so very much for watching the game, for supporting, for asking the questions. Now we're going to get the chance to speak to a couple of players before they go back into a dressing room. And this is, part of a new format that we want to introduce. Thank you, DAZN, for also making, this possible. They've been a great partner of the club. We recently also announced a partnership with them. And they've made this possible. I don't know if it's still a good or a bad idea to put me on camera and commentating, but you know what? It is what it is, and here we are, and it happened. Okay, so there's players coming. Alex, come here. Yes? I want to interview you. Can I? Thank you. So this is Alex Kerr. Alex, what a game. Tell me, what do you think?
Yeah, it was really intense. They played a good match. We just need to, I think, handle the ball a little bit better. Just not be as rambunctious when we're playing going forward, and just better touches on the ball.
Amazing. So, Alex, I was sharing a little bit about your story during the first half. Alex's both parents are professional footballers, or were professional footballers. Tell us a little bit about your experience at Como since you came here.
Yeah, I've learned a lot since I've come here. I think the technical side of the game is something that I've always needed to improve, and I've been able to do that a lot here.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. Congratulations for today. I screamed the goals pretty loudly. I don't know if you guys could hear it, but anyways, it was amazing. Thank you so much. See you soon. Okay. Domenica. Last minute. This is the end. This is the grand finale, exactly. Okay, give us a few words about the match.
Well, I think that the first half we did quite well. We should have played a little bit faster, but other than that, we kept possession. That's what coach wanted from us. We also scored, so I think that the first one was pretty good. The second half we didn't play well. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it for the second half. We have to improve, but obviously it's been a while since we had a game. Also, everyone got the chance today, which is also good, and everyone is healthy, which is important, at least, on our team. I hope that on Olympique de Marseille team, the girls going to be fine. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We have to, obviously, for the next game against Fiorentina, step a little bit higher, but I think it was a good game just to come back into the rhythm.
Amazing. Thank you so very much. Wish you the best of luck in the next half of the season. Go get some rest, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you. Okay, guys, this is the end. I've survived. I don't know how, but it happened. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for everyone here that made it possible. Thank you to Olympique Marseille for coming. And most importantly, thank you to our beautiful team of players who are really very, very inspiring and are the reasons why we do everything that we do. Hopefully, I don't know if I'm going to see you soon or not, but we'll see. Bye!
È la 24 che ha fatto il gol.
Strap yourselves in, everyone. Let's go!
National League has a new home.
We've got lots to look forward to here on DAZN.
All of the matches.
The early shot is a really good one.
All in one place.
It's a great ball. It's a super goal.
Live or on demand.
Fabulous.